Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Glad to have you here. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and on WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. And People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have co-coordinator of the Taylorville Food Pantry, Amy Hagan, in studio. Great to have you back here, Amy.
Thank you, Avery.
Good to be here. It's great to have you here. Also, a public information officer for the Central Illinois Food Bank, Tim Kursanik. It's great to have you here, Tim.
Morning, Avery. Great to be here again.
All right. So, Tim, you brought in fresh off the presses your newsletter for fall 2022 off the shelf, and it features the Taylorville Food Pantry right on the cover. It looks well, tell me a little bit about what's in here.
Yeah, so really, this is actually our 40th anniversary edition. Earlier this year in June, the Central Illinois Food Bank celebrated its 40th anniversary, so we're very excited about that. We've been in operation since 1982, and during that time, one of our great partners has been, of course, the Taylorville Food Pantry, and has really been helping us to really increase access to healthful foods, which is really something that we're looking forward to and working so hard on during the course of the Central Illinois Food Bank's history. So, and one of the great things that we actually just recently rolled out is a new established nutrition policy, and this newsletter, which goes out to our donors across our 21 counties, talks a little bit about that policy and how it will direct us as kind of a roadmap to that goal of continuing to provide healthful foods for all. So
sounds like these kind of coincide, the Taylorville Food Pantry and them following this nutrition policy. Obviously, the nutrition policy is new, like you mentioned, but feels like they've always been doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really putting into place what we've already done in practice. This is really just kind of solidifying what we've been always trying to do. So last year, over half of the product that we put out 12 million pounds of food. Over 6 million pounds of that was fresh, healthy, nutritious product, produce, protein, and dairy. And when you go to the Taylorville Food Pantry, that's exactly what you see, just a great selection of choice and products. And the volunteers and the staff there really take that to heart and take that seriously. So,
Amy, how do you feel when you see the Taylorville Food Pantry highlighted on this newsletter from the Central Illinois Food Bank?
Well, I was forewarned that they wanted to do a story on us. I didn't expect to see Harold Baldock on the front cover when I read it, but yeah, it's great. We've got Harold on here, and his wife Linda is inside on page 3, and they are just incredible volunteers. And then also Larry Berry is featured with Linda, photographed outside the building. So it's fantastic. And obviously a great sense of pride, right? I mean, just in being recognized in this manner. These are the lifeblood of our organization that keep the pantry going from week to week. And it's nice to see this produce box that Harold's unloading from his pickup truck, also here on the front cover, because we really do. I mean, you know, it probably sounds like it's taken in jest, but it isn't. When you walk into our pantry, easily 50% of what we have on the floor available to our patrons is the fresh produce, the protein items, the dairy product. And, you know, we distinguished ourselves in that manner several years back, and through the partnership with the food bank and some of the grants that we've been able to be awarded over the years, it's just made all of this a reality, and it's a commitment. Every one of our volunteers are aware of what we're looking for, how to put it out, how to organize it, how to preserve it, how to store it. I mean, all of those things. So it's pretty darn cool, in a word.
Tim, 40 years for the Central Illinois Food Bank. I mean, gosh, what an accomplishment for a regional food bank.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, really what we try to focus on too in this article, and this will be available online as well a little later on this month, was really kind of the journey that it's been on. You know, it truly has been a buy-in from all of the communities that we serve. You know, started with rented space at the Brother James Monetary in Springfield. From there, we moved to our facility on Moffett Street. And in 2013, took ownership of our current facility on Cook Street in Springfield, former Springfield Pepsi bottling facility. And so to have really gone back and delved into the archives and seen that journey has just been really incredible. And it really could not have happened without the buy-in of everyone involved, from our staff and volunteers at the food bank, board members over the years, to everyone who's been involved at all of our partner agencies, especially right here in Taylorville, like I mentioned. So
if you think about it too, at least in my lifetime, think about all the things the Central Illinois Food Bank has been able to help people with in those 40 years. Just in my lifetime alone, I mean, 2007 recession, pandemic, and I'm sure there's lots of other crisis situations that I'm not even aware of. I mean, that's what the food bank and food pantries are all about.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the theme of this newsletter too is feeding the future, is that we know that while it's been an incredible journey, you know, we still have a lot of work left to do. You know, hunger is still with us every day. People are still struggling to make ends meet, and food is something that sometimes gets forced to the back burner, but it shouldn't be. And you know, we're always working to provide the continued access, as well as really prioritizing those healthful and nutritious options as well, like I mentioned. So.
Amy, anything else that you'd like to say about the partnership with the food bank over the course of Taylorville Food Pantry's history and their partnership with the Central Illinois Food Bank?
Well, I mean, more than anything, it's been very rewarding to us. I can't imagine operating our food pantry without that partnership. We've been in existence for 35 years, and there's a history there that I know is long and deep. And just, you know, in the 5 years that I've been the co-coordinator of the Taylorville Food Pantry, they are an integral part of our operation. I mean, so much of what we are able to source affordably is because of that partnership. And not that we don't have some very vital partnerships with other organizations in this community, our retail partnerships, for example, and some of our wholesale partnerships, but the bulk of what we get at the Taylorville Food Pantry is because of the partnership that we have with the Central Illinois Food Bank, and you know, our fundraising that enables our dollars to stretch so much farther in what we spend at the food pantry over anywhere else.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you guys have a really good relationship with a lot of different community organizations throughout, including the Taylorville Kiwanis Club, who I know is doing their drive-through donation days this month.
Yeah, we love love the Taylorville Kiwanis. I mean, the generosity by which they treat our organization, they make us a priority as part of their routine efforts with each calendar year. They do the drive 3 times a year, as you mentioned. September, they'll be wrapping that up. And, you know, they invite us to their meetings to come speak and give us updates about how our food pantry is operating. And we just are so grateful for the generosity of the Kiwanians here in this community.
So shameless plug, come on out to the Miller Media Group front parking lot Saturday from 9 to noon, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. actually, and drop off your monetary donations and also your non-perishable food items here at Studios at 918 East Park. By the way, that's co-coordinator of Taylorville Food Pantry, Amy Hagan, along with Public Information Officer for Central Illinois Food Bank, Tim Kersenickas, here on the WTIM Morning Show. More from them after this short break right here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Over the years, it has meant the Gas House Gang, Stan the Man, Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, Simba headed to the Hall, the Wizard, Big Mac, Yachty, and Waino. All of those names, and they provided so many memories. St. Louis Cardinals baseball, most importantly, has meant championship baseball. The tradition continues in 2022. We'll be describing every play right here on the radio. St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Cardinal baseball, heard on WTIM, your information station. The Big 870 across Central Illinois, 96.1 FM in Christian County, 107.5 FM in Shelby County, and 107.9 in the Pena-Nokomis area. It's brought to you by Taylorville Memorial Hospital, Siegert Lee's Insurance, Jennifer Franklin and Brian Keel, the Real Estate Group, and the Christian County YMCA.
Cardinal baseball across Central Illinois on the Big 870 WTIM.
Hello, I'm Dick Adams, the new Executive Director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. From helping Taylorville and Pana establish and promote their industrial parks to constant communication with existing and prospective employers, our ongoing work has helped grow and attract many businesses. Funding comes from both public and private sources and is vital to continuing our work toward attracting more jobs. Find out more online at christiancountyedc.org.
This announcement donated by the Miller Media Group.
Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment. Also, our archive shows. After they air on the weekend, you can find them every Monday at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. So listen when you can. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Central Illinois Outdoors. Central Illinois Outdoors on Facebook or at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. We'll see you there.
Jim Stepp is the owner of Central Illinois Asphalt in Taylorville. With over 40 years in the asphalt paving business, he's still at it today, based in Taylorville. Don't trust fly-by-night pavers claiming they've got extra asphalt, then play gotcha. Call Jim Stepp at Central Illinois Asphalt for asphalt repair and sealing, and make your driveway or parking lot dust-free with recycled asphalt and environmentally friendly sealer that doesn't contain coal tar and other harmful things to your health. Reach Jim by Googling Central Illinois Asphalt Taylorville for quality work at fair prices. He's your local paver with over 40 years experience.
C&B Bank and Trust is helping to open doors for your wealth. Schedule your appointment with Victor Henson by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Not FDIC insured, no bank guarantee, may lose value.
Hi, I'm Bob Raddings of the Bob Raddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Glad to have you along. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm here in studio with co-coordinator of the Taylorville Food Pantry, Amy Hagan, and Public Information Officer for Central Illinois Food Bank, Tim Kersenikas. Amy, it's no secret by now the Taylorville Kroger has, well, it's shut its doors for now, as there's a seal from the Illinois EPA on the doors, preventing anyone from going in. And I know Taylorville Kroger works very closely with the Taylorville Food Pantry. So how has that impacted your efforts to feed the community where it's needed?
Well, in a word, it has hurt us. A couple of weeks ago, a few weeks back, Mayor Berry and some other folks had orchestrated a rally in the Taylorville Kroger parking lot. And Mayor Berry actually asked me as a co-coordinator to speak at that rally, which from other time commitments was not able to manage. But I did write him a very long narrative, a very thoughtful narrative about the pain that has been caused to our organization, our agency, as a result of the store's closure. They participate in the Feeding America retail program, where basically things that, you know, are maybe not selling for one reason or another, or, you know, you may have like a bag of peaches and one peach is smushed and they can't sell that bag of peaches, for example. Those are items that would ordinarily go to a landfill, but instead we're picking them up, right? And so they're part of that program. We've also received grants over the years from the Kroger Foundation. We have an excellent relationship with the staff, both back of house as well as front of house, in ordering product in bulk that maybe we can't source from the Central Illinois Food Bank from time to time, you know, like peanut butter or canned goods or something like that. And they do their level best to try to provide us with some fair pricing on those products. So to be able to access quality food that we need to stock our pantries in a timetable that we can count on, to replenish our shelves, to be a part of a partnership whereby they are helping us receive grant funding from the corporate foundation. They do drives at the holidays, like the bag drives at the checkout stand. That food, an amount of it does come to the Taylorville Food Pantry. So there are so many ways that they have helped us over the years. And for them not to be in operation in this community is providing a very big disadvantage to our organization. It's impacted our ability to source fresh produce. It's impacted the quantity of bakery items, fresh bakery items that we're able to provide to our pantries. And I have no qualms in saying that we are hurting as a result of not having our local Kroger store here in operation.
Tim, in your capacity, from what you've seen from a regional standpoint, if a community loses a store, like, for example, the Taylorville Kroger, I mean, what is the general impact? Obviously, we're hearing it right here, but is this about on par for what you're hearing for other communities? Or I guess tell me a little bit about your experience with situations like this in the region.
Well, that's right. I was speaking with you a little bit earlier. Earlier this year, we did see a very similar instance in the community of Whitehall with their local Kroger closing as well. So, in that specific instance, we kind of prioritized some more of those drive-through food distributions. We actually held the drive-through food distribution for the residents in Whitehall. And at that event, I was able to walk the line and speak to a lot of the residents who had attended that. And every one of them made very clear that, they were there because of their local Kroger and their community, their only community grocery store actually shutting its doors. So, whenever something like this happens, we always work very closely with our partners in that community. We prioritize communication with them, make sure that they're getting everything that they need, and that we continue our mission to get food out in whatever ways we can to the communities that need it. So
provide me a little bit of background on how Feeding America works with some of these local grocers.
Yeah, so we have basically what's called a retail rescue program. Like Amy mentioned, it's products that maybe they have too much of or can't use for one way, shape, or form or another. That product, a lot of it will often come to the food bank where our volunteers actually inspect the quality, make sure everything's ahead of the sell-by date, there's not any damage to the product. And then we make that available to our partner agencies for them to order and stock their own shelves with. So it's really a great program, and really to see the moving parts that go together into that with all our own retail partners as well at Central Illinois Food Bank that provide us the product and help us get it out as well. So,
right. And then when there is a retailer that is shut down that participates in that program, is there anything they can do to continue that on, or is it pretty much just suspended until if and when it opens again?
Well, the great thing is we have several retail partners who contribute to the Central Illinois Food Bank. Aside from Kroger, that includes Hy-Vee, Walmart, and products always coming to us from those stores as well. So we're always looking to continue to diversify our sources of food to make sure that if something like this were to happen, it does not impact us or our partners too severely, but we're always working, like I said, to provide that access in whatever ways we can. So,
Amy, any final thoughts about the situation with your organization and the Taylorville Kroger?
No, when Tim was given a list, we also partner with Aldi here in this community as well, and we have a great relationship with both Aldi and Walmart here in this community, and we're forever grateful for their participation, and they have stepped up and helped us and tried to help, fill that void, that gap. But we certainly miss our Kroger for sure.
That is co-coordinator of the Taylorville Food Pantry, Amy Hagan, along with Public Information Officer for the Central Illinois Food Bank, Tim Kursinikas. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Avery.
Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. You can find those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241C.